All right, hello everybody. This is Miss Pikarski. I know several of you either were not here on Monday to go through how to use the finance program in the calculator, or you didn't understand it very well. So I'm doing this recording, and if you were absent on Tuesday when everybody started the project, you're working on this project on your own, so you might need this information. So let's look back at the scenario we looked at on Monday. So we had this scenario. We had a Toyota Camry, sale price was $22,152, and then the interest rate was on this loan would be 12.8% compounded monthly, and the advertisement says we can pay it off in 66 easy payments. Okay, so this is the scenario. Now, if you buy it on your 18th birthday, you need to know how much excuse me, I can't talk anymore. You need to know how much your payments are going to be. Okay, so we can use our finance program in the calculator. Once you're on the scratch pad, you go to the menu, do finance, and then finance solver. These instructions are in the green notes that you picked up on Friday. So if I'm going too fast and you don't feel like pausing it, look in the green notes on Friday. Now your end value, that's the number of payments you're going to make. So in our scenario, we're making 66 payments here. So we just put a 66 down there. Then you're going to push tab. And our interest rate, let's look at our interest rate. Our interest rate is 12.8%. In your notes, it says do not move the decimal. Normally, we would change that percentage to a decimal, but this calculator is so easy, it does all the work for us. Now, the present value, that's your initial loan amount. So in this case, our purchase price was $22,152. So our present value is $22,152. Okay. In your notes, it says that if it's an investment, it's negative, and if it's a loan, you have a positive value, so that's why this value is positive. Now, we don't know what the payment is so we're going to go back to this once we finish filling out the rest of this table, okay? So just skip that for now. For a loan, if you're paying off a loan, your future value should be 0, so you just put a 0 there, okay? And payments per year, you're making a payment once a month. So how much will you pay each month? You're going to have 12 payments a year. Okay, so it would be 12. You push tab, and you will automatically have 12 compounds per year. And if you look up here, right here, it says that we're compounding the interest monthly. So that is what we want to have. So down here and here, we should have 12. Okay, now let's go back up to our payments because we want to know that value. We're just going to go back there and hit enter. Okay, now here's the way this program works. You can calculate whatever you want, but let's say we knew that the payment was $50 or $35. Okay, first of all, your payment should always be negative. Let's say we wanted our payment to be $35. And we wanted to know how many payments it would take to pay that off. So we'd put negative $35 here, and then we'd go up to the number of payments, and whoops, sorry, that's probably too low of an amount. Let's say $350. Let's say we looked at our budget, and we knew we could only afford to pay $350 a month. Okay, so you go up to your number of payments, and you just push enter, and it will tell you that it'll take us 105, almost 106 payments to pay this loan amount. Now notice I have a partial payment here. When you're doing your calculations to calculate the total amount that it would cost to pay this off, you always want to round your partial payments around this number to the 2 decimal places. So I'm not going to say that it'll take me 106 payments because I'm not going to pay that for the 0.04 portion, okay? So let's go back to what we had. Originally we had 66 payments here, and we had the calculator calculate our payment amount. So it says that our payment should be $469.24. Now, I know that this has a negative. You will always have a negative on your payment amount, but on your packet, if you put a negative amount here on when it says how much will you pay each month, if you put a negative amount, that says that somebody's giving you that money, not you paying it to somebody. So even though it has a negative here, ignore the negative sign, just put the $469.24 here, okay? Now, when you're trying to figure out the total amount that you pay or that you will pay for the car, you're going to take your payment amount, the $469, hold on. Okay, you're going to take this amount, push Control C to copy that. Push Escape to get out the finance solver, push Control V to paste it. Okay, and then notice it included the negative. I'm just going to get rid of that negative because I don't need it. Okay, and then if I want to know the total amount I'm paying for this car, I'm paying let's see, how much did we say? $469 each month for 66 months. So the total amount I'm going to pay is this amount times 66. Okay, and I'm going to pay over $30,970 for the car. That's how you find the total amount you're paying. When you're looking for the amount of interest or how much in interest you're paying, you're going to take this amount and subtract the original purchase price, the $22,152. So that number minus $22,152. So in this car, for this car, if you pay the minimum payments to pay it off in 66 payments, you would end up paying $8,818 for this vehicle. Okay, and then to calculate how old you'll be when you finally pay off the loan, take your number of payments, the 66, divide it by 12 because you're making 12 payments a year. That will tell you how many years it will take to pay off your loan, and then you just add that amount of years to your 18, to the number 18, since you buy it on your 18th birthday, and that'll tell you how old you are. When you are writing these answers down, any answer that includes a dollar amount, I want you to include the decimal. So in this case, you would write $8,818.15. Don't just write $8,818, okay? You need to include the change. All right, so any dollar amounts round to the nearest cent. On your age, I want you to round to the nearest half a year. So in this case, I think 66 divided by 12 is 5.5 years, I think. Whoops, let's do Control Enter. Yeah, it's 5.5 years. So I would say, let's see, 5.5 plus 18, is that 23? Plus 18, yeah, 23.5 years. So in this case, you would say you're 23.5 years old. All right, so now let's look at the second scenario. Whoops. The second scenario is you want to pay off the money or the loan as fast as you can, so you're paying an extra $100. So you're going to go back to your finance solver. Notice that all your information is still there. If you pay an extra $100, you're going to come to this payment amount. Do not delete the whole amount. All you're going to do, delete the 4 and change that to a 5. So now your payments are $569.24. Now notice if you push enter, it's going to change your number back. Anytime you push enter with this program, the calculator thinks you want the calculator to calculate that amount. You don't want to calculate that amount. You already know it's $500, but what will change is the number of payments. So if you increase the amount you are paying by $100, the number of payments you're going to have will change. So you just change this to 500 and then come up here and just push enter. Just push enter here and it will give you your new number of payments. So in this case, it'll take you 50 and 50.55 payments. Okay. Anytime you have a partial payment, for most of you guys, for this second scenario and the third scenario, you will have a partial payment. I want you to round to 2 decimal places. Okay, so 50.55 payments. Okay, so now when you're calculating the total amount, hold on, how much will you pay each month? It's just $569.25. And then how much will you, or how many months will it take to pay off? Yes, I know it'll take you 51 months. But when you're doing your calculations, use 50.55, not 51. Okay, because your last payment will be a partial payment. All right, and then the total amount that you're paying here, you're going to take the price per month that you're paying times the number of months that you pay, and that'll give you your total amount. To find the interest that you're paying, you take your total amount and subtract your original purchase price. Okay. Now the third scenario is you're paying $100 less. So you go back to your finance solver, change the remember that your original amount that you paid was $469. So let's say you can't afford that payment. So you can only afford $369. So you change your payment amount to $369 and then again come back up here to the numbers or to the end value, the number of payments, and just press enter and it will automatically calculate it for you. In this case, you're paying 96. You have to pay make 96.27 payments to pay off the car loan. Okay, and then the process to find the total amount that you're paying and the interest is the same as the first two scenarios. Now, the last thing that you need to do on the project is you need to figure out for every single scenario when will the balance on what you have left owing, when is that going to be less than your depreciation rate. Okay. So in all the scenarios, your depreciation is going to be 15%. So in this case, we would use our, hold on, you need to kind of keep note of your payment amount. So we're paying, for the first scenario, is $469.25. All right, sorry, I just needed to write something down real quick. All right, so you're not going to, for the last thing, you're not going to use your finance solver to find this. You're going to go to your spreadsheet down here. Okay. This column should be months. Okay. This column should be the scenario. And then this one will be the depreciation. Okay. Now, remember, you always want to start on the 0 month and then do the A1 plus 1 to get the number of months. And then you can just fill this in. I would suggest for each scenario you want to fill the months all the way down to the number of payments it'll take to pay it off. For most of you, it will only take a few months to get your balance so that, where am I at? I went way too far down. Sorry. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. All right, so for most of you, it may only take 1 or 2 payments to get your balance that will be in this column lower than your depreciation rate. Okay, so notice, let's go back. For this box, you need to know the initial purchase price, the $22,152. That was your original purchase price. You know, you need that value in both of these boxes. Okay. And then for the depreciation, let's pull up the depreciation. I'm going to move this over. Okay. For the depreciation, the formula will be, what the heck did I do? Hold on, let me go back up. Let's see, the Toyota Camry. There we are. Sorry. Okay. I think we're ready. Let me click on the calculators before I start typing. All right. So the formula will be, make sure you do the equal sign. We want to take this value in C1, okay, times the open parentheses. Make sure you put that times in there or else you'll get an error. 1 minus the rate, which in this case is going to be 15%. Don't forget, you do need to go ahead and convert that to a decimal, divided by 12, and then close parentheses. Let's see, close parentheses. All right, so this is how we're going to get your depreciation rate. And again, you want to go ahead and extend that down, can't remember if I went all the way down to 66 payments. I went too far. All right, I actually don't need that value. All right, so now this tells us how much our car is worth at any given month. Okay, in this column we're going to calculate what our payment amount is, and so, or sorry, what the balance on our account will be. All right, so again, put the equal sign. We want this value times our, whoops, there we go. Make sure you push the time symbol, and then open parentheses 1 plus the interest rate that you had for the car. And in this case, our interest rate was 12.8%. 12.8%. And remember, you will need to convert that to a decimal. Oops. What am I doing? There we go. Let me get my fraction thing up there. So it'll be 0.128 divided by 12. Okay. Close parentheses. And then minus your payment amount. And our payment was $469.25. Okay. So really quickly, let's look at that formula. Make sure you have a plus here. Make sure you have a time symbol there. Make sure you have a minus symbol there. Okay. Notice on the depreciation rate, here you have a subtraction and you're not making any payments on it. Okay. You only make the payments on the balance. All right. So if you look here, my balance the first month after my first payment is more than what my value of my car is. So this column is going to give you the balance that you have left owing on your car. This is the value of the car. So if I extend that, I'm going to go ahead and extend it all the way down. All the way down there. All right, there we go. Yes, I know my balance is negative there. That's because I went too far. There we go. All right, so now let's scroll all the way back up. For most of you, if you start at the top and work your way down, it'll be faster. So notice I'm pretty close, but I still owe more here than what the car is worth. I still owe more here than the car is worth. I'm still owing more, still owing more. I'm going to keep on going down, still owe more. And it gets a little bit tricky when you change values. So I'm looking, I'm still, oh, right here. All right, so you notice that after the 15th payment, you owe about $40 more. But after the 16th payment, the balance left owing on your account is $2 less than the value of the car. So in this case, after 16 payments, you owe less than the value of the car. So why do we need to know this? Well, if you get in a car wreck, let's say you get in a car wreck after owing the car for only a year, the insurance company is only going to pay you $19,048. But your loan amount is more than that. So guess who gets stuck with the rest of the bill? You do. You will have to pay off the rest of that out of pocket. Okay? So you can look and see what the value is. Now, for the second scenario, whoa, I'm going way too far down. Okay, so for the second scenario, remember we paid $100 more. So we can go, instead of 49, it would be 59 and change it. And you can go ahead and extend that down a little bit if you need to. But notice from the very beginning, because we are paying $100 more, right off the bat, from the very first payment, the balance left owing on your car is going to be less than the value of the car. So even if you wreck the car after the second month, you're still going to get an extra, $110. Okay, and conversely, for the third scenario, if we paid $369, so $100 less, with the third scenario, if you pay less, your interest rate is going to be higher. So notice I changed, instead of 12%, it was now 14%, and I changed my payment amount. Okay, and you can extend that all the way down. And what you will find, guys, as you're working through this, is that with the first scenario, Sorry. I went too far. A lot of times you may have the value of your car maybe less than, or the value of your car may be greater than your payment balance the whole time if you have a low interest rate. But when you increase the interest rate and you reduce the number of payments, it's going to take you longer to pay off the car, or to get the balance left owing low enough that your value of the car is greater. So notice I'm all the way down here to this 66 payment, and see, I've gone all the way. Remember, with the first scenario, it only took us 66 payments to pay it off. With the third scenario, it's going to take you a lot more payments, and even after making 66 payments, you still owe more than the car is worth. So that's the kind of the situation that's going to happen with every single one of the scenarios. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. If you have questions, maybe talk to some of the other groups that may be finishing up their project. Maybe they can help you. All right, I will see you next week. Bye.